o'clock hour was brought to you by Rosenbaum Injury Law. If you've been injured, don't settle for less because winning means everything. Call Rosenbaum and Associates today for a free consultation. All right, Ricky Bo. So I was just looking. Toronto tonight. Phillies at Toronto. Did you see what they're giving away up in Toronto?
You thought I didn't. I did. Roy Halladay jersey.
Yeah, I mean, this thing looks awesome. They're giving away a Roy Halladay replica retro jersey to the first 15,000 fans.
Wow.
This thing looks legit, man.
That's pretty awesome.
Yeah, this thing looks really cool. At least the pictures do. So this is a great giveaway tonight for anyone going to the game. And I love that they're doing it. Obviously, this was intentional, but I love that they're doing it Blue Jays Phillies. That was a classy move by the Blue Jays, waiting for the Fightin' Phils to come to town to do their Roy Halladay night. So pretty damn cool. And we were talking earlier, is this team poised for a World Series? Because that's what Jake Peavy said on the MLB Network this weekend. Well, let's take a look at the lineup tonight for Game 1 against those Toronto Blue Jays, Don Mattingly's old club. What do you got, Ricky Bo?
All right, here we go. Schwarberian leads it off. Kyle Schwarber, he's DHing. Trey Turner's batting second. Bryce Harper is third at first base. Brandon Marsh is fourth in center field. By the way, if you haven't noticed, these lineups are starting to kind of right themselves. Alec Boehm is fifth at third base. JT Realmuto is sixth. Bryson Stott is seventh. He's at second base. Adolis Garcia is eighth. Edmundo Sosa, though, is in the lineup. He's playing left field tonight.
All right, there's a lefty on the mound for the Blue Jays.
Yeah.
But I like this.
Patrick Corbin sucks.
You're not a big fan.
Well, he hasn't thrown the ball extremely well, especially he doesn't pitch well against the Phillies in general. I mean, to be honest with you, he's got a 0-8 record with a 7.44 ERA against the Phillies in his career. That's 11 starts.
Well, Phils are big favorites tonight, not only because Sanchez is on the mound for the Phils.
Well, yeah, I mean, it's a walk in the park, isn't it?
Well, let me ask you this.
Mm-hmm.
Sanchez just has that historic 50-plus innings scoreless streak. It gets broken. Any sort of letdown for him tonight?
I don't think so. I think Don Mattingly said it best after it was over. These things are going to end. You know they're going to end. It's not like you go a whole season and you're not going to give up a run. They're going to end. And how do you rebound from that? You just pitch. It's not like he gave up 40 runs last game.
No, and he seemed to have a great attitude about it the whole time.
Yeah, I just think I think he was just, you know what's funny? Certain guys don't necessarily have that fun. They have a stressful reminder of what it is every day. I think he went into this thinking, if I get it, I get it. If I don't, I don't. I mean, how else could you actually... I think it was different back when Oral Hershiser was going for it because the country was focused on it. I'm not so sure everybody was focused on this. Do you? Do you think everybody was?
No.
I think if he would have gotten out of that game.
Yes. The next game would have been focused
Tonight, there would have been all the attention on Sanchez.
And how ironic would it have been? It's in Toronto, of all places.
Yeah. You know what? I was just saying during the break, this would have been a cool trip to take. Like, go see the Phils up in Toronto this time of year, get the free Halladay jersey in the mix.
That would have been cool. Yeah, but we don't travel. The other thing is, it's so funny. I'm looking at the I'm going to ask you a weird question. And the question, I'll give you the question before I say something. Would you stop completely giving these guys these long-term contracts in Major League Baseball?
Do you mean in general, or are you talking about just?
I'm talking in general. If I was a GM, I don't think I would ever give away more than a 3-year contract.
See, I'm the reason I pause is you look at a guy like Sanchez and being able to lock him up early.
Oh, I'm talking about position players.
All right, so just position players. That's why I asked if you meant in general. So just position players. I mean, look, Bryce Harper, this is going to sound crazy because he's making $300 million, but Bryce Harper's kind of a bargain for what you're paying him because you locked him up.
On a general I told you I think these numbers are going to come back down after this strike or lockout or whatever.
Yeah.
And reason being, I looked at the Blue Jays lineup, and I was just curious. They have two big-time paid players on the team, right? George Springer, Vladimir Guerrero Jr. George Springer is hitting .207 with 5 home runs. That's what. You know how many RBIs he has? 14.
Yeah, it's not great.
Okay. Vladimir Guerrero, what's his forte? What's he supposed to do?
Home runs, man.
Home runs. He's got a whopping 3 this year.
Yeah, but offense is down across the league, though.
I don't really tell Brandon Marsh that.
Yeah, tell Kyle Schwarber too.
Brandon Marsh must be the next coming of Ted Williams. Then,
you know what? You led me right into the next talking point. Then let's talk about Brandon Marsh because the All-Star voting has opened up, and I look at this Phillies team, and not only because it's in the city of Philadelphia this year, but they should have 6 players representing the Phillies in this All-Star game. And I don't even think this should be a question. I'm going to tell you my 6, and you could probably guess them. Christopher Sanchez should not only be on the All-Star team, he should start the All-Star game. That should not even be up for debate. He's the best pitcher in the National League. He's coming off the National League Pitcher of the Month. It's in his home stadium. He's been unbelievable. He's the favorite for the Cy Young. Any argument there? Christopher Sanchez starts the All-Star game for the National League.
I actually have them in order of how they should rank, too.
All right, so I got Sanchez.
Christopher Sanchez as my number 1.
All right, my number 2, simply because chicks love the long ball, as they say, Kyle Schwarber. He leads the majors in home runs. He's going to be in the All-Star game. He's your starting DH from the National League. You agree with that?
Yes.
All right, so we're in agreement, Sanchez and Schwarber. Next up, now he might not have the big name, but he's starting to get the recognition nationally that he deserves. Brandon Marsh. He leads the entire majors in batting average. The guy has been an absolute superstar, not only this year, but dating all the way back until that phantom IL stint he had last year where they sent him down. You remember, what was that? In it in August?
May, because if you remember.
Oh, yeah, it was early.
April, he was 0 for April.
Yeah, it was very early.
He went like 3 for 5 in either game 1 or 2 or something like that of the season.
Yeah, we're going on a calendar year now, June to June, of Brandon Marsh being one of the best hitters in baseball.
Yeah, he's no joke.
He should be a starter in this All-Star game, and it's going to be a crime if they don't give it to him. And it's based on fan voting. So I looked this up. Starters in the All-Star game is completely fan voting based.
Right.
So if that's the case, he might not get enough votes. It's up to Philadelphia to get him in. So we got Sanchez, we got Schwarber, we got Marsh. Bryce Harper. He's got the name. He's in the top, what? What is his OPS right now? He's 21st in all the majors. But let's see. What is he in just National League?
I don't know if he's a tough sell right now. You can say what you want. You look at Bryce Harper. We love him here in Philly. But does 264, 14, and 37 get you into the All-Star game?
He's 13th in the National League in OPS.
Okay.
So if you look at that number.
I guess it depends. I mean, are the people that are voting really look at that number? Or do they look at the name on the back and say, ooh, Bryce Harper, I like him, but Freddie Freeman's there?
Well, he's got more home runs than Freddie Freeman, right?
Right.
He's got 14 home runs. Freeman's got how many?
I don't know. I
don't even know. But Harper's got 14 home runs, which is top 8 in the National League. He has, where is he runs batted in? He's 19th in RBIs with 37. And like I told you, he's top 14 in OPS. What is he? OPS 13. I don't know. I feel like with his name and with his statistics and the fact that it's in Philadelphia, I think he's going to be able to.
All right. So you really have what? I'm trying to think who they possibly have. I guess Jake Bauers would be a possibility from Milwaukee. You forgot Matt Olson.
Yeah, let me look up here. I'm looking at
267, 17, and 47.
Yeah, those are his big competition.
And then you could say, it could depend. Like if Freeman gets voted in, are you in trouble?
Matt Olson might.
If Freeman gets voted in, you're in trouble because then Jake Bauers or Matt Olson would be the second one.
Yeah, because Matt Olson right now has more home runs, more RBIs, a higher batting average, a higher slug, a higher OPS.
Yeah,
that could be the big one.
That's what I'm saying. It's not. I think for Harper, it's not as simplified as everybody else. I think Wheeler's the same way, which is your fifth one, right?
Yeah. So I went Sanchez, Schwarber, Marsh, Harper, Wheeler, and then Joan Duran.
Those are the 6 that all have the opportunity.
Man,
I think there are locks. I would check mark Sanchez, Marsh, Schwarber automatic, and Duran are now automatic. Wheeler has 50 innings. I think I think 65 would probably be enough to get him in there. I don't know. Because what are they going to do with Shohei? Do you have to be a qualifier? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, because I just said Schwarber's your DH, but they probably go with Ohtani.
Okay, Ohtani.
Unless Ohtani gets in. Yeah, because Ohtani's going to get a ton of votes. He's going to get a ton of fan voting.
For what position, I wonder?
Probably for DH.
Well, you don't vote for the pitcher.
No. So it's probably going to be, oh, man, it's going to be hard for Schwarber.
Yeah.
Maybe they're not going to get 6. Well, here's what the other
Schwarber has to get in. He's the league leader in home runs.
Well, and then the other issue is I want to see Schwarber and Harper in the home run derby. Harper's not going to do it if he doesn't get voted in.
And by the way, I don't necessarily disagree with him from a point of, you know what? That's the only real time you guys get off during the summer. And it wouldn't, it doesn't even faze me that he might just say, you know what? I'm going to take these days off. I need the rest. Well, even if you tried to force him to play, I think it's probably a good move on his part if you're not in the game to not be there.
No, and I don't. Is it embarrassing for Harper to show up just for the home run derby if he doesn't make the All-Star game?
Maybe he just doesn't want to. I mean, in a sense, would you want to?
No.
I know fans would be like, come on, Bryce, just do it. And he's probably like, why? I mean, I don't know. Pros and cons. What are the pros and cons of that? The pros are you get to show off in front of people. The con is you're not in the game.
Yeah, he's not doing it unless he's in the game. And I think he said that. Didn't he say that this weekend?
Yes, but you almost have to wonder, does he get in or not? Bottom line.
Well, I'm looking here now. So, yes, the 8 starting positions and the DH are voted on by the fans. So they'll fill up 9. And then the reserves and the pitchers are going to be filled by, the player ballot are made by the commissioner's office, are filled by the player ballot, votes from active players, managers, and coaches, and then by the commissioner's office. So I think Harper and Schwarber have big enough names that if they don't get voted in by the fans as starters, they'll get voted in by the players and managers. So I think the big question is just, does Wheeler pitch enough innings, and does Brandon Marsh get enough votes? You're going to get 6, man. I'm going out on the limb here. I'm saying 6.
I think definitively 5. I don't know about 6.
It would be pretty awesome if
look, there's going to be injuries. There's going to be guys that turn down the All-Star game and this and that. So remember that part.
Yeah, and then you fill them in.
Yeah.
So you might get 6. Now, we got a texter. Apparently on the television broadcast of Unfiltered, Booney put up that Brandon Marsh is white hot. And the texter and Silvana have never heard that expression because Silvana thinks that they made a mistake. No. And the texter thinks they made a mistake. You never heard of the expression white hot? It's like
no,
they're even hotter than red hot. It's like they're so hot it's white hot. You never heard that before?
I've never heard this before in my 25 years of life.
Yeah, white hot. It's like it's so hot it's white.
It must not be that widely used because I have never heard of this.
Yeah, I've heard it my whole entire life. Ricky, you've heard it, right?
I have.
Really?
I have.
I feel like you guys are playing prank on me.
Look, I just Googled it for you. So here's what it says.
Is being at or radiating white heat.
Yes.
Which means super hot.
Is Brandon Marsh radiating?
Yes, he is. He's white hot. It says white hot describes something extremely hot.
My putter used to be called I think I had a white hot.
A white hot putter?
Yeah.
It glows white from intense heat.
Because it's so hot, it passes all the color barriers.
Yes.
Yeah.
Huh.
You never heard that before.
No, I've never heard of this before.
Yeah, look, it's actually.
By the way, Bill.
What's that?
Bill, why are you doing this? She hasn't heard of anything before.
That is true.
Listen,
the two of you with the
so
lack
much.
of knowing expressions is bothersome to me.
Really? Okay, well then teach us some because I have never heard you say any.
White hot?
Yeah, that like you don't say an expression. You wait for one of us to get something wrong, and then you're like,
That's not true. Wait, I used what was the one I used last week that the two of you didn't know? I'm trying to remember now.
oh gosh, I don't know. Ricky says water off a duck's back at least
while
once
you're
a
trying
week.
to figure out some dumb things.
At least once
Did
a
you
week.
see that plane that crashed in the Dominican Republic?
Ricky,
I did not. What happened? Is everybody okay?
It was a private jet, like a Learjet, and it crashed on an emergency landing in Dominican Republic. You know who it was going to pick up? Yadier Molina.
Really?
Yeah.
Did anyone get hurt?
I did see
Yes,
this.
the two pilots passed away.
Oh man.
I did see this. Way to bring.
Yeah, what are you doing, dude? We're trying to have a
You
little
were like,
fun
while
here.
you look this up, we're talking about funny expressions, and now you just
Yeah,
No,
we
you're
were
talking about funny
annihilated the
expressions. I'm
segment.
talking about sports-related themes.
We were trying to have a moment of levity on the show.
Yeah.
And you just bring
Killed
us
it.
you bring us crashing down, no pun intended.
Well, I didn't
my
mean anything by that. It just popped up on my thing from TMZ.
What popped up on your thing? Sounds like you need some Suprexia.
Sounds like you need some good nut.
That was actually really good.
Oh.
That was actually really good.
You're real funny, Bill. Wait until I get you back.
By the way, people on the text board are saying, "Are you wearing my shirt?" Someone said.
Wait, how did you know that?
Did you get that from Bill's closet? Because Sam, who's our AP today, told me.
Yeah, someone did say that. Well, yeah, and my friend actually gave me that shirt to give to Bill because he
this one
works,
here.
Yes, at Tavistock. So he gave it to me to give to Bill.
I got married at Tavistock.
Bill was
Country
like,
Club.
Nobody
it's
asked.
an XL.
Yeah, this shirt would normally be too big for me. I'm not an XL guy. I like to wear larges. The XL is actually fitting me after this weekend.
Yeah,
He does
actually
not
put
wear
it on.
larges. He wears mediums.
If anyone saw what I ate this weekend, and-
I did.
Yeah, my
You
wife
posted
posted.
it.
No,
What
my
was up
wife
with
did.
all that?
It was my wife, man.
What's wrong
How many
with it?
Sundays did you have?
Way
What's
too
up with
many.
you being a stalker? You don't post anything. You're just watching everyone
I
secretly
stalk.
behind your
You're
no
damn
profile.
right I do. That's all I do is stalk.
You know what? I'm going to
That's-
block you.
that's what Ricky
What
does
did I
on
post
social.
this weekend, Ricky?
I did. I have no. Oh, wait a minute. You did post something. Hold on.
I did.
I did remember the food.
Yeah,
Me?
I went to.
Oh, okay.
No, you might have
just
put food out there too. So
I did today.
Yeah.
Yes, your cooked salmon today.
Yes,
Yeah.
salmon today.
But yeah, I went crazy this weekend with food, and it was bad. It was bad.
Now he has like a stomach. He like walks around like he has a stomach.
So that's why I could fit in the extra large today.
Yeah, I think it actually fits
You
him
might
very
need
well.
double X
Someone
in a
even
week.
pointed out today, like, wow, it looks like that shirt actually fits you.
Nah, it's too big.
I just wanted to say, like, if only you knew that I've been trying to get him to wear this damn shirt for months, and he's been
Too
saying,
big.
It's too big.
It's too big. Extra large is too big. It's got to be a little tighter. All right, look, here's what we got coming up. We hear you. Best voice messages of the show. We'll get to that. And then we got to get back to our home run predictions. All right. I think Ricky Bo has taken over the lead. So we'll get back to that, too, before the end of the show.
Surprise.
But coming up next, we hear your best voice messages. Don't go anywhere. Unfiltered. 97.5 The Fanatic, NBC Sports, Philadelphia.
Unfiltered. Ricky Bo, Bill Colarulo.
Philadelphia Sports Talk. 97.5 The Fanatic and 97.5thefanatic.com.
We've gotten to a lot on the show today. Talk some Phillies. We were reacting to Mike Gansey's press conference and then his one-on-one interview with our Middays with Mark show, 76ers talk. So curious where these voice messages are going to come in because we got a lot of them today. Appreciate everyone who sent in their voice memos. We hear you twice a show every day. So 3:45 and then again right now at 5:25. So be sure to send in your voice memos every day. And I just heard as we were leading in talking about the Fanatic app. Remember, you can get Unfiltered anywhere in the world on the Fanatic app, literally. So the 97.5 The Fanatic radio signal will end when you go certain places. The app is everywhere. So you could listen from wherever you are. And then if you want to watch on TV, NBC Sports Philadelphia as well, if you want to see Ricky Bo's beautiful, beautiful face. You look good today, too. I like that.
I think you're lying.
What, that you can't listen everywhere or that you could see your beautiful face?
Or that his face is
I'm
beautiful.
ugly, so what's the difference?
Hey, that's not what the
Ugly and
ladies.
proud?
That's not what the ladies say on the text board. Silvana is forced to read all the women who come out of the woodwork.
I meant in your eyes.
Talking about you.
In your eyes, you tell me I'm ugly all the time.
I think you're a stud.
So you've kind of.
You're no Tom Brady, but who is?
You're no Tom Brady.
No TB12.
But who is?
I'm RB5 too.
That shirt looks different.
RB5. Yeah, is that a new shirt today?
No.
Okay. What's on it?
Yeah, what are those? Are those whales? What are
Are
those?
those umbrellas?
Palm trees. And I don't know what the other thing is.
Wow, how festive, Ricky. He never wears anything fun around us.
No, he looks good, though. It's because he's probably hosting with Michael Barkan today.
That's because I'm not wearing this on air. I'm wearing it for you, you idiot.
Oh. See, he knows I get hurt that he gets dressed up for Barkan.
Why did you have to just be an idiot like that?
I didn't say anything. I said you look good. Silvano said it. Silvana said you never get dressed up for us. And it's true.
When was the last time you saw Silvana dressed up at all?
Oh, now he's taking a shot back.
What do you mean?
I'll get out of the way here. I'll let you two battle. Go.
What do you mean? I always am. Define dressed up. Like, what am I supposed to wear?
Like
what would
dress
be
nice?
I am always put together.
Oh, always put together. I would agree. Silvana always looks good. Ricky, on the other hand, sometimes looks good. Sometimes he looks like he doesn't care about us.
I go comfort over anything else. So
do I.
I go fashion over function.
From the neck down, I'm comfort.
All right, let's get to these voice messages.
That
we
does
hear
not
you.
Sound very good.
Always brought to you by Rycor Heating and Cooling, delivering high-efficiency heating and cooling solutions across the greater Philadelphia area, New Jersey, and the Delaware Valley. Visit RycorHVAC.com or call 1-855-MY-RYCOR to schedule a free consultation now. Rycor, we know how. Hit it.
No.
I want to know.
Yes.
Okay, I'm going to tell you.
Are you listening to me?
We can hear you.
I have something to say.
Please just keep it simple and brief.
Thank you.
Listen to me carefully.
And that's all I have to say about that.
We hear you.
Alrighty, let's get started with our first one.
I got the answer for what to do with Painter. Take him to the closest convenience store and see if you can trade him for a bag of chips.
Oh, come on.
Bag of chips.
Come on
I'm
now.
down on the Phillies.
That was
Now a cheesesteak from Jim's. Yeah, I could do it.
Stop. Wait, all seriousness. And I get Andrew Painter has been very frustrating to watch this season. You can't give up on the kid already.
no.
Was he 22, Ricky? Is that how old he is? 22?
I don't think he's older than that.
How old's Andrew Painter right
If anything, he's got to be the.
I think he's 22 or 23.
Andrew
23.
Painter, 23 years old. Hasn't been great.
No.
But to give up on him already, trading him for a bag of chips. I mean, you think about how many trade deadlines came and went, and Andrew Painter was untouchable. Couldn't trade Andrew Painter. You're not trading him now for nothing.
No.
You got to give the guy a chance, Ricky. Come on. Listen, you got that perspective. You were a pitcher in this league. You've seen a lot of pitchers come and go. Are you giving up on Andrew Painter, Ricky?
No, not yet. Nope.
When would you say, hey, now you got to be worried? Like, how much time do you give a starter before you say, now it's time to worry?
Definitely given the season. I can't just sit here and say I'm all done with this guy this year. I can't. It's his first year in the big leagues. He's a number one pick. You got him for some kind of a reason, one way or the other, didn't you? So why don't you just see what he's made of?
You
Give him
have
an
to see
opportunity.
through
Yeah.
at this
Yeah.
point.
Yeah, you got to. And listen, I don't think they're going to send him down. They've made that pretty clear. They're going to at least let him get his next start. And like Ricky and I pointed out earlier in the show.
He made it very clear. Did it sound very clear to you? No, not necessarily about his next start, but did it sound very clear to you when Don Mattingly was speaking? Quote unquote, this is the big leagues. You got to learn to do what you got to do type thing.
Yeah, but he did. I meant they made it clear they're going to let him get his next start. They're not sending him down now.
No, it sounds like, well, he's on the trip, which would normally mean he's going to have a start.
He's on the trip with the club.
He's on the club.
All right, let's keep him rolling.
It's infuriating to hear you guys keep talking about the Sixers were healthy. Tyrese Maxey had a hand injury, which everybody knew about, and he said he wasn't going to make excuses for. And Joel Embiid came back from an appendectomy in less than a month. So stop with the Sixers were healthy when they faced the Knicks. Stop it.
Oh, come on now. So
The appendectomy may.
no, listen. Bob Myers specifically said at his press conference that this postseason, they have to be honest with themselves. They were relatively healthy against the Knicks. Do not bring me that they lost to the Knicks because they weren't healthy. We've done that ridiculous story every single season with Joel Embiid. Well, if they were healthy, number one, they never are. Okay? Embiid never is healthy. But don't you dare sit there, and I love you and I appreciate the call, but don't you dare sit there and try to sell me on if Maxey didn't have the finger and Joel didn't have the appendectomy, they would have been able to beat the Knicks. They are not even in the same class as the New York Knicks. It pains me to say it because I can't stand the damn Knicks, but let's not make that excuse that the Sixers didn't beat the Knicks because they weren't healthy. Come on now.
They got waxed by the Knicks. Waxed.
Yeah.
I
Completely.
don't care how healthy they were. They still weren't beating that team.
Everyone's playing with something at that point in the season, and really that's probably the healthiest that we're ever going to see of that group.
This team did not lose to the Knicks because they weren't healthy.
I don't know.
No.
Would the games have been a little bit closer? All right, maybe I'll give you that. Maybe if Maxey's finger wasn't hurting him, he's making some shots. They're not in the same class. But with Embiid, it's always that. Is he healthy? Is he healthy? Is he healthy? He's never going to be healthy.
No, that was about as good as you were going to get right there, unfortunately.
Man, I got all mad at our caller. That's our man, too. He always calls in.
I know.
Appreciate the call, but I can't do that anymore. We can't make excuses. And I'm happy that Bob Myers, when he met with the media a couple weeks ago, specifically said, we have to be honest with ourselves. We were relatively healthy and we weren't good enough. And you just heard Mike Gansey, the Pobo, say, we are not a championship caliber team as built right now. Let's be honest about it. All right, what else we got?
You know, it baffles me over the years with this Sixers organization, how they failed in building a team around one Charles Barkley, who had to go to Phoenix. And what they got for him was peanuts. And then you had Iverson, who they failed to build a team around him with all his talents. He single-handedly took the team to the championship. Imagine if he had a few players, which there were some good defenders, but offensively, nobody. And now we have Embiid that we're living with, and it's too late. I mean, and it really stinks at this point to be a Sixers fan.
Yeah, listen, you go back and you look at what a lot of the Sixers moves have been, and it's been a frustrating ride. And it hasn't all been on Josh Harris's watch, but like I keep looking at what the Spurs were able to build as quickly as they built it. And I know we did a post of something I said about the Spurs going back a couple weeks ago, and people were like, what don't you understand? They had top picks in several drafts. It's like, so did the Sixers. Oh, well, what don't you understand? Victor Wembanyama is a generational talent. Well, so was Joel Embiid.
Right. You can't. By the way, people will try to match you the whole time. They got Castle, they got Wemby, and they got Harper. All of them within the last 4 years or 3 years, whatever it was. Yeah, and these are all really good players now. And you even think about it, Stephon Castle has stepped up. He's only 2 years removed. Harper was a high number one pick. Of course they're going to be pretty good, but those guys are stepping up early in their careers too.
Yeah, they built the team very quickly, whereas the 76ers kept missing and missing and missing.
Yep.
And it's frustrating. And then you look at the Knicks. Now they built their team differently. But Leon Rose, when he took over, got Jalen Brunson, traded for Cat, traded for Mikal Bridges. They have Josh Hart. Like, they built their team a certain way, too. And Sixers are still sitting here. How are they going to build it? How are they going to build it? Now, I think they got it right. Bob Myers, this guy that spoke today, forgot his name for a second. Was it Mike Gansey? Spoke today. It seems like they're saying all the right things. Now you got to do it. All right, let's get our last one in.
I also just saw that Kevin Kurz from the New York Times reported that they were in talks with St. Louis for Rob Thomas, and they asked for Jack Nesbitt, Porter Martone, and a first-round pick. And then Danny Briere hung up the phone in their face. Let's go Flyers.
Yeah, that's our Flyers fan right there. Kevin Kurz does a nice job covering the Flyers for The Athletic.
I don't think that.
Let me see. Let me look at what Kevin Kurz put out, because I didn't see this. That's news to us. That's our man. I think he's the one who broke the news about Dylan Larkin to us too. Appreciate it. He's our hockey contributor. What did he say? As I reported yesterday, the Flyers don't believe they are on Dylan Larkin's short list. Maybe it's in the article.
That's pretty sad. Like, they don't actually know. They have to find out after it gets through, like, the press. Isn't that weird?
Well, I guess it's being fed. I would be surprised if Danny Briere didn't speak to the agent, though. I guess we'll have to see. So this is in the article right here. Of note, one center that the Flyers don't believe is available anymore is the Blues' Robert Thomas. Although the Flyers checked in on Thomas before the trade deadline, the ask on the 26-year-old was a non-starter for them. One Flyers source mentioned that in March, the Blues wanted Martone, Nesbitt, and a first-round pick for Thomas, which was completely unreasonable in their view. Yeah, I agree. So the caller's spot on. Kevin Kerr's put in his article. You're not trading Porter Martone. And then you throw in Nesbitt and a first-round pick for Thomas? No, but they got to do something. The Flyers are going to have to get creative. You need a top-line center, and you just don't have it in your farm system right now. I don't see Luchenko being a number one center on this team. You got a lot of guys who project more, maybe as a not even a top six. I don't know. We'll see.
No,
we'll see. We will see what happens.
To do on both ends.
All right, good stuff. We do it every day at 3:45 and 5:25. Coming up next, we were just talking about Mike Gansey. I want to play for you one more time what he said about Joel Embiid's future, and then we'll take a look at tonight's unfiltered home run predictions. Who is in the lead? I can tell you it's not Silvana. Aha. All right, coming up next, Unfiltered, 97.5 The Fanatic, NBC Sports Philadelphia.
Unfiltered. Ricky Bowe, Bill Colarulo.
Philadelphia Sports Talk. 97.5 The Fanatic and 97.5thefanatic.com.
All right, we're coming down the home stretch on this Monday afternoon. Fighting Phils north of the border tonight, taking on the Toronto Blue Jays. Before we turn our focus to that, I know not everyone was able to listen to the entire press conference of Mike Gansey today down at the Sixers facility, the new president of basketball operations. He met with the media at 10 o'clock. After his press availability, he then came on Middays with Marks, and they did a one-on-one interview. You can catch both of them online, but you could listen to the one-on-one interview Johnny Marks did on our YouTube page at 97.5 The Fanatic. Make sure you're subscribed. We always post a lot of content there, clips of the show, some things that we do off air. It's not only on air stuff, so make sure you're subscribed to our YouTube channel. But Jameer Nelson and Bob Myers also spoke with the media today. I'm excited for Jameer Nelson. He's getting an opportunity. You know, it was interesting. Mike Gansey actually said that was one of the big things when he interviewed with Josh Harris and Bob Myers, is he wanted to make sure Jameer Nelson was going to be a part of this. And everybody in the NBA knows him, and he's going to be the number 2 behind Gansey, or maybe the number 3 if you consider Bob Myers the number 1. But the big question that Johnny Marks asked on the midday show, I want to play this for people who missed it, was about Joel Embiid. Because I think a lot of people look at Mike Gansey taking over as the Pobo, and they're wondering, all right, first order of business, what's going to happen with Joel Embiid? He's got 3 years left on this massive contract extension that Daryl Morey gave him, $193 million approximately. Here was Johnny Marks to Mike Gansey today on Middays with Marks.
Sean gave you a tough question. I'm going to ask you about Joel Embiid. I know you spoke about it in your press conference. Mm-hmm. Is the plan to keep Joel, and can you say with 100% certainty that Joel Embiid is back for 2026?
Yeah, Joel's ours right now. I've had great conversations with him. We FaceTimed. I'm actually going to see him in a couple days to kind of sit down in person with him. But, you know, we just got to get Joel on the court. You know, obviously when he plays, we're really good. He's still a dominant force. I mean, he can get 25 in his sleep. And I know he's self-motivated. You know, obviously he doesn't like the questions about him not being available, but he wants to play. He wants to be on the court. And, you know, that's on me. That's on our whole staff and Nick and the whole building to get him to his best self.
All right, so a lot of people hearing that differently. You know, some people, including Ricky and I, we hear the right now part and we think, all right, that means they're going to try to shop him. But then other people hear the rest of that, and he's not wrong. Joel can still drop 25 points in his sleep. But the big thing is If they can't move him or if they don't try to move him, either way, you got to find a way to get more out of Joel Embiid in terms of his time on the court. 39 games isn't going to cut it. It's just not. And it's not fair to the rest of the team to not know if they have Joel Embiid or if they don't have Joel Embiid. It's not fair to Nick Nurse. It's not fair to his teammates. So that'll be a big question mark if they can't move him.
Isn't the real question is what can you get for him? And look, if you think about it, it's $58 million plus. You're going to have to get at least probably 2 players at the very least would probably come with them. And does that really mean anything? Well, those players had better be on expiring contracts or there's no reason to actually trade them. How about that? So I want you to think about this for a second. How many takers would you actually have? Think about what I just threw out there. They would have to be on 1-year deals. There's probably 2 or 3 guys that would fit the description to get up to $58 million. So it's an even trade. They would have to be on 1-year deals because you don't want more money coming on that you're trying to get rid of. So how many teams fit that description?
Yeah, probably not many.
And I guess the same thing would be with Paul George. I'm wondering, like, in general, like, if people would rather have Paul George gone or Joel Embiid gone right now.
Probably, yeah, that's a good question. Now, I actually think Paul George's contract's easier to move because it's only 2 years, and I think Paul George can still contribute on a team, whereas Joel Embiid, as good as he is, he does change the way you play. Like with Paul George, I think you saw it. He still has some value. He could still play defensively. He can still create at times. But Joel Embiid, because he possesses so much of the offense, he needs the ball in his hands. I think it's harder for you to trade him, not only because it's a bigger contract, but because of the style in which he plays. It just is a different type of style. I don't know. But what would Sixers fans rather have?
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking about. It kind of made me think, like, what would they really want? Is this one of those situations where, okay, would they want Joel Embiid still for 3 more years or Paul George for just 2 more years?
I think I would, and Joel Embiid is a better player than Paul George right now at this stage of their careers. Right. Joel Embiid's incredible, but I think I'd rather move on from Joel because of that extra year. And because I think you could build the team differently. Paul George can, like when we had that caller earlier who said, Joel Embiid can stay on the team, but he only plays 20 minutes a game. Well, that's not really feasible with a guy like Joel Embiid. You could probably do that with Paul George, even though he's paid a lot of money. You could probably figure out a way to limit Paul George's minutes and still have guys contributing. But, all right, well, look, this can all happen as soon as the NBA Finals is over. When the NBA Finals ends, trades can start happening. The big one a lot of NBA fans are waiting for is Giannis or Jaylen Brown, and they might get traded for each other. Giannis goes to the Celtics. Jaylen Brown goes to the Bucks. But there is a game tonight, big game at Madison Square Garden, not a cheap ticket. The line hasn't moved, Ricky Bo. The Knicks are only 1.5-point favorites. This is screaming San Antonio.
You love that.
Screaming San Antonio. You're going to have the first sitting president ever to go to an NBA Finals game, so security is an absolute mess at Madison Square Garden.
You're not allowed to walk around or drive around Manhattan, I'm pretty sure.
They can't bring any bag, even clear bags. Like the whole thing is insane down there.
I'm checking this right now.
Yeah, so
June 8th. Hold on.
What are you looking
up? What are you
up?
checking?
I'm seeing if you... No, we don't think you're a robot. What is this? I'm not a robot.
Oh, my God.
All right, let's check the Twitter poll results while he's doing that thing.
Whatever he's doing.
They went down. One ticket you can get for $6,592.
$6,500 to get in the building. That's it. Make it happen.
Goodness.
If we leave now, we could get there in time.
First couple rows, $105,000.
A ticket. Yeah,
one ticket.
It's expensive for sure. But I'm taking the Spurs tonight. All these Knicks fans who are dropping all that money, you're going to watch an L. A big L. Victor Wembanyama goes crazy tonight. All right, let's get the Twitter poll results. This was about this weekend's Phillies. Your bigger takeaway, that the bats showed up or that the starting pitchers struggled. Twitter poll stood strong for 4 hours. It rose all show long thanks to Dr. Avi Donapel of Iron Mountain Men's Health. What do we got?
What is your bigger takeaway from this weekend for the Phillies? The lineup steps up or the starters struggle? 74% voted for the lineup steps up. 26% for the starters struggle.
All right, a lot of positive Phillies fans. So let's take a look tonight. North of the border, Phillies, Blue Jays, Sanchez on the mound tonight. Phillies are big favorites tonight.
Yay.
Last time I checked, a minus 176. All right, but let's take a look at our unfiltered home run predictions. I'm going to give you the updated standings. In last place with 5 points, Silvana Keller. Coming in at second place with 12 points. That would be yours truly. And in the lead with 13 points, Ricky Bowe has taken over the top spot.
That really has to hurt, Bill.
It does hurt. So remember, we do home run predictions every show that we can. So who's on deck for a home run tonight? Brought to you by Sequoia Outback on Route 309 in Hatfield. Check them out online, decksupplies.com. Experience the ultimate at Sequoia Outback. Who's on deck for a home run? Silvana gets to go first, and she's in dead last. Did I mention that? That Silvana's in last?
Yeah, I'm in dead last, and the only way I'm going to make some headway and start digging myself out of here is if I take a little bit of a flyer. So I'm going to go with someone that I usually would not pick.
Can I guess?
And has some pretty good odds.
Can I
yes,
guess?
go ahead, Ricky
Alec Boehm.
Alec Boehm is exactly who I am picking.
Yeah,
Hit a home run
he
over the
crushes,
weekend.
and he
Yep.
crushes
Yes, he
Corbin.
does.
He does well.
He hits 370 off
I
of
got
Corbin
plus
in his career.
680 on my FanDuel. I got to take a big swing here.
You know, I thought you were probably going to go Schwarber. So I was thinking about taking Boehm, but that's a good pick. So Silvana's getting Boehm at a plus 689. I like that a lot.
Yes.
And the fact that Ricky was even able to guess it, that's a good sign for you.
Right.
That could put her on the...
Yeah, that could put me on the map. I could just be right behind you, Bill.
Oh, man. All right, here's where I'm going tonight. I think he's feeling a little bit left out. Rafael Marchand hits the home run this weekend. JT Realmuto, who also crushes Corbin, has 2 home runs against him, hitting 359. I'm taking JT, who's also a plus 680, but I just realized what we did.
What?
Yeah. We just left the low-hanging fruit for Ricky Bowe.
I'm taking. It's too obvious.
You going with Schwarbs?
Yeah, but how many points would he even get for that?
He's got 2 off of them, too.
Schwarber's a plus 280, so Ricky would only get 2.8 points.
Yeah, we'll live.
Not when he hits
It's okay.
3.
Yeah, not when he hits double. You get double points. We should have made that clear. You get double points if the guy goes for 2.
Oh, gosh.
All right, so Silvana's got Alec Boehm at a plus 680. I got JT Realmuto at a plus 680. Ricky Bowe's got Kyle Schwarber at a plus 280. We'll see what the updated odds show tomorrow. All right, coming up on the TV side, the game's not until 7 o'clock, right? 7 o'clock first pitch tonight?
Yeah, like 7:07 to be exact.
7:07. So you got a little Birds Huddle leading you into Phillies pregame live with Ricky Bowe. On the radio side, we do the Fanatic Rewind. You'll get the best of Kincaid and Salchunas middays with Marks, and then, of course, Unfiltered. Appreciate everybody who tuned in. Let's go, Phils. We'll be back at it tomorrow. OTA or mandatory minicamp tomorrow. Nick Sirianni set to speak, so we'll do some Eagles tomorrow. Have a great night, everybody.